Welcome viewers. Uh, in this video, we are going to discuss possible levels for the coming week, that is 10th to 14th of November 2025. Okay, Monday to Friday. Mm, Before that, let us go back to our previous week's video where we had predicted for the week levels for the week gone by and how we fared during the week. Okay, so on the left hand side, we have our weekly video. Okay, on the right hand side, we have intraday levels for last Friday, that is 7th November. So during 7th November, the high made is 25,551 exactly around this point, and the low made is 25,318. So all the levels on the downside which we predicted came true on Friday. Okay, okay. So this is a perfect level, both on upside as well as on downside, and we even mentioned that from where we got these numbers. Okay, Fibonacci ratios and moving average retracements, Fibonacci retracements. So in our weekly video, for the weekly prediction, we mentioned that upside scope is limited and 25,600 is the boundary on upside in worst case scenario. And downside, we expected a level of 25,550, below which 450, break of which we are heading towards 25,230. Okay. Here we stopped around 25,318, that is on Friday. Okay. So our analysis, even on a weekly scale, worked out very well, and we indicated that our bias is going to be negative for the week gone by, and it proved to be true. Okay. Similarly, we will not complicate our prediction for our world forecast for the coming week. We will use moving averages and Fibonacci retracements with the purpose of um, detecting the important levels. Okay. So here it is. This is a weekly time frame chart. So for daily predictions, we stop at 1 day chart. But for weekly, let us also have a look at weekly chart. See, here it is a weekly time frame, and these are all EMAs of different durations 20, 50, 100, and 200. So we are still above 20 period moving average, that is 20-week exponential moving average. So what is the number? 25,065. Please uh, note down somewhere or remember this from the weekly time period. The important level, that is 20 period, is 25,065, and 50 period moving average is 24,484. So almost 5 to 600 points away from this level. So there is a big gap between both these weekly averages. Okay. Okay. We'll leave this here, the weekly time frame, and let us move to 1 day time frame. Okay. Let us change the time frame to 1 day. Let us zoom it so that it is visible properly. Yeah. Yeah, here it is. We broke this 20 period exponential moving average, which was at 25,589. Okay. And we went all the way to 50 period moving average, that is at 25,328. And what was the previous week's low? That is on Friday, 25,318. Okay. Just below this level, but closed well above this number. Okay. It tested this level and took support around here. So that way we can deduce. Okay. So breach of this level and sustenance below this level for at least 15 minutes to 20 minutes will call for testing of 100 period moving average, that is falling around 25,066. Let us recall that 20 weekly EMA was 2566, and here 100 period moving average is also 2566. Okay, so you can expect a decent support on the way down here around 100 period moving average. So we have seen in the previous instances, whenever Nifty has taken out 20 period moving average and also the 50 period moving average, So the testing of 100 period moving average took place. You can see all these levels. Finally, if this is breached, 200-day period. Okay. So most of the time, whenever 50 period is breached, 100 is imminent. 50 period is breached, 100 is imminent. You can see in the previous instance in this time zone. Okay. So this is from the moving averages perspective. Let us move to Fibonacci retracement. In the previous video also, previous weekly video also, we had discussed those levels, and they are proving to be of significance based on the last week's Nifty action. Yeah. So golden ratio 0.618, retracement 25, 524. This was breached and sustained on closing basis. And the very next day, you can see the market moved further down and tested 0.5 retracement level, that is 25, 345. Okay. So now the where Nifty close is important. Nifty closed just below 0.618 retracement. It is not able to breach this level on upside. Now it has breached. It is not able to sustain above this level. Okay. So for us to forecast the future movement of Nifty, it is crucial whether Nifty is going to go above this and sustain. Going above, it may go, but whether it is sustaining or not, whether, okay, that is more important. That is to be seen. So Monday we would be looking out at this level 25, 524. Sustenance above this level would call for a move on a upside. Okay. If this level is breached. Okay. In case if Nifty takes resistance around this level, so you may expect a move again towards 0.5 retracement, that is 25, 345. Okay. If the momentum is supportive on the downside and that this level is comfortably breached and sustained below this level, then you would be looking at 25, 167 followed by 2566. So 2566, 25,066 we have just now discussed. On a weekly time frame also it is 100 period moving average. On daily time frame it is at 100-day moving average. Okay. So weekly it is 20 weekly moving average. Daily it is 100. Okay. So this is an important number on the downside. One can look out provided this 0.5 retracement is breached. Okay. So let us summarize all these numbers at one place so that there is no confusion. Uh, let us write down the week first, 10 to 14th November 2025. So our bias is going to be neutral. So why we are saying neutral? Last week we had a bias on the downward side. Here, what happened? There is a bounce back. There is a retracement and trying to on Friday, Nifty tried to test this level. So we have to keep our mind open on both the sides for the coming week. Sometimes around these kind of moments, many of the best traders get trapped thinking that the momentum will continue on the downside. Okay, so this can be a reversal also. The possibility is very much alive. So for the coming week, we have neutral based on breach of and sustenance about these levels. We will decide our for further bias. So that we can discuss on a daily time frame in case Nifty takes a direction either on upside or downside. So because we are discussing for next 5 trading sessions, we'll go into the week with a neutral bias. Okay. And we'll see whether these levels are broken and sustained. Okay. So where we are now, 25,492 where we closed. So upside movement is 25, 525, the Fibonacci level. So breach and sustenance would call for a big move towards 25,779. On the way, you would also see 25,589 and 25,680. Okay, so these are the levels on upside in case 0.618 retracement is taken out. Okay. Suppose it takes resistance at this level and reverses. So which are the levels one needs to look for? First is 25,460, then 25,346. That is 0.5 retracement level. Okay. Breach of this level would call for a move on the downside towards 25,167 followed by 25,66. Okay. And if the momentum accelerates, one may even look for 761 on the downside. Okay. So for the purpose of analysis, so these are the most probable levels which are possible for the coming week. So one may question me, sir, you have given so many numbers which covers all the 5 to 6 days of action on the upside as well as possible levels on the downside. So anyway, market will take a direction. So you are being diplomatic. Okay. So if you're thinking from the negative perspective, it may appear so. But the truth is, we have bounced back from point 0.5 retracement level. So market may move in any direction. It may reverse, it may continue to go down. So unlike last week we had taken a bias on the downside. Okay. So depending on where Nifty closed on Friday, weekly closing, as per our analysis. So it is in between 0.618 and zero point 0.5. Okay. So if the larger trend is reversal, so from here we should take upward momentum. If this is an intermediate action, and if there is still some momentum on the downside which is still pending, so we will breach the 0.5. So we have to keep our mind open. So both the levels are possible, and the most important and crucial thing is what Nifty does at 0.618 retracement and zero point 0.5 retracements. If it is breached, whether it is sustaining, then we change our bias to positive. If it takes resistance at 0.618 and moves down and breaks 3 4 the zero point 0.5 retracement, we will change our bias to negative. Okay, that we will discuss in our daily videos. So that's all for now. Take care. Bye bye.